What's up, y'all? It's Tyler.
And Ahdeem.
And we are biggity back. We are back, and today we have another topic for you guys. We are going to be discussing when to disclose your secrets to your partner. No, it's fine.
That's a good topic, honestly, because I always, when I was dating, I was always like, when do I tell them that I have X, Y, and Z going on with me? But also, of course, there are small secrets that you tell people when you're dating, things that we can either bond over, hashtag trauma bond, or or just things that we, will think were funny about our past that a lot of people don't know, but we feel comfortable with sharing with you. But what we're talking about are the heavy duty stuff,
heavy hitters, suckers.
No. The fact that I'm currently, on parole and running from the cops right now. That's why we're in LA, actually. Tyler knows that. And now I felt comfortable sharing that with you.
No, she's not an accessory to a crime, y'all. I don't know nothing. I'm like, what's her name, wife? She was like, I had no idea he was doing none of that.
Exactly.
She was like, what y'all talking about?
It was El Chapo's wife, right?
Ooh, we don't say no names.
Oh, period. No face, no trace.
Okay. I'm gonna just say this. El Chapo, buddy, crazy like Rocky.
Okay. But you just said his name. You said we weren't.
Okay, we'll clip it. We'll clip that. But yeah, so baby, I actually think that you're raising a really good point, because what you're speaking to is or what I'm hearing, I guess, is two things. One, you're talking about this overall theme of when do I trust you enough? When have we established trust enough to disclose my secrets? And then also that there are sort of tiers or levels to what you're ready to disclose, which seems like it's dependent upon time and where you're at with your feeling of trust.
Yeah, definitely.
So those are two good points to start with, I think. No, I agree. So I feel let's say, this is what I was thinking in my head while you were talking. I'm thinking, let's say you go out on a date with somebody, y'all have been dating for a while,
What's a while? 3 weeks, 2 months?
Let's say 2 months.
Okay.
Y'all been dating for 2? No, you're right. We can do 3 weeks.
Exclusive?
We can do exclusively dating for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And y'all are just the two, but it's still early in the relationship.
You're not getting my business until we exclusive.
Right. So I feel at this point, you don't want to tell that person every little thing, because I get it, right? You might be I don't want to unload too much. Mm-hmm. I don't know where they're at mentally, if they can handle all the things that maybe I'm trying to disclose.
But I guess you would know that when you are doing that exclusively, but still.
Right. So my point is that I feel like if you're, let's say again, you've been dating 3 weeks exclusively, and you're hey, I have trust issues, right? Because of my past relationships with family or past partners. I feel that's maybe not something that I would say, if I was hitting you up, on Growler again, I wouldn't be hey, let's link up, but by the way, I have trust issues with my family. I probably wouldn't do that.
But by the way, my mother and I aren't on speaking terms.
Right,
I would be what?
Right. I would probably wait until I felt we were close enough as just people. As two people getting to know each other, I would probably just wait. And I feel 3 weeks into mutually dating, all that, maybe that's a good time to unpack that and have that conversation. Because maybe you don't have to go real deep in it, but at least you're far enough along now where this person is interested in you, and y'all have an agreement. You bang with each other enough now to have that kind of trust where I can disclose, start to unpeel and unpack the layers. Ow. Okay.
No, but I totally understand. So and of course, when you're in conversations with folks, you notice when they either, I don't want to say shut down, but when they go into themselves a little bit, and they're just this isn't something that I want to talk about or even deal with in the moment.
True.
So I totally get that. It's about timing and it's about trust for me.
Okay.
When did we start telling each other's secrets? Not telling, but talking to one another about specific like secrets?
Well, I'm glad you said that because I actually want to say this
I don't
too.
remember.
This is why I'm about to answer that, but this is why I say that you should focus on having a friendship with this person first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before you think like, oh, I'm gonna date this person, or oh, we're gonna mesh so well, or oh, on paper we line up perfectly together because I'm a Capricorn and he's a Taurus, like whatever. Before you even get there, like, focus on a friendship first. So for me, I felt like, us being friends for a while, I felt like I could have certain conversations with you before, like, without it feeling weird.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel weird to talk to you about kind of like
That's true.
my family dynamics or like, all of the things.
Just as it would with any friend, if
Yeah.
you were to talk to them about something, because you all have that relationship.
Yeah. So that's why I personally think that like the best relationships come when you guys are like already friends. Like, I'm not saying like
That's what people say.
Yeah, well, just because you already have like a solid foundation and like
Yeah.
an understanding of each other. I feel like it's like you trust me, I trust you. Like, I don't know. I just feel like being friends first. You already kind of have the jokes, and you kind of know each other's temperament, and you kind of know each other's like mood and
You know how to go about it.
Yeah,
You know how to go
yeah,
about
and you
it.
can read each other. I guess is really what I'm trying to say.
That's a good point. I
Yeah.
feel like you were the first relationship that I've had where we were like friends first. Everything else just kind of, it just kind of fit that pattern in that way. So yeah, and honestly, that's probably why I don't remember when we started telling each other what was going on, like internally, because it kind of just happened so naturally, organic. It happened really organically.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't remember, but you have the memory of a bull, so you probably do.
Well, Travis, a Rolodex.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, but I
But
mean,
I know we just did it.
I can't pinpoint what we did.
We told the secrets to each other. You over here being nasty.
But yeah, so we for each other.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact day, and I don't remember like what the exact thing was, but I
Do you
just
remember how long into it we were?
But we were talking so frequently though, and so for me, and I think for us, it was one of those things where like it's always like the late night kind of conversations, like when
pillow
we're
talk.
like when we're both in bed, and when we were like texting each other, or for sure when we were like texting each other, and it's like late at night. It's like that's kind of when I'm like, yeah, man, I've just been stressed out. I had a long day, like because of blah blah blah, and then like I can get into like why certain things remind me of certain things that I don't like or like things that are kind of like triggering for me. So I don't remember like the exact day, the exact moment, but I just feel like us always being friends, we always had that foundation where I could just tell you how I was feeling about something and tell you the whole truth. Like, it is so relieving to not have to hold things in. But I guess to answer the question, it just takes time, right? I would say, because a lot of us deal with stuff that sometimes we don't even realize how deeply it affects us.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and with me, a lot of that kind of stuff is like my parents' divorce, like going to predominantly white institutions and all of that, and unpacking all of that, and I could continue to go on, but those are just some of the things that like, those are some things that I opened up to you about, like, a little earlier in our relationship, so that you could kind of understand why I put such a focus and why I put an emphasis on, and why I appreciated about you the fact that you were super knowledgeable about like Black culture, period, like Black film, Black art, Black music. Like he just had an extensive list of people in his head at any time that I could be like, I need a recommendation for like books or like who came up with this random thing. He just would know that kind of information. So again, like as a result of growing up in predominantly white institutions in prep school and college, it was like I was happy to get to meet somebody who had such a focus on like Black culture, and being able to unpack with you and tell you what that means and why that was important to me.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. So, and then of course, like later on in our relationship, then we got down to the nitty and the gritty, and then that's when I feel like, that's when I feel like it's serious. Like when I feel like the relationship was serious with us, that's when I really got into the nitty gritty, because I also felt like he's gonna listen to me. He's gonna respect what I'm saying. I don't have to worry about you blabbing on rat-a-tan, Stevie. I don't have to worry about you going on rat-a-tan, telling all of the business. But it took us a while to get there, not because we didn't click, but just because it just takes time to just develop that real trusting relationship. And also, it's like you give somebody a little, and that's why I think the kind of like the tiers of secrets kind of make sense to me. Because it's like, if I tell you one little thing and you can handle it, okay, then I'm going to be more trusting and able to tell you more.
That totally makes sense. So for both of us, what I'm getting is that there's a time and a place, there's tiers, there's levels to this, and then it's also about like a mutual understanding and a respect before you really share like certain secrets with the people that you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. Yeah, and that's what I feel that we did. We definitely did that.
Yeah.
Partner is also like, they're able to really like take that information in and deal with this with you, because after you tell me, I'm not just gonna be like, okay. We kind of need to have another conversation after that. So,
yeah, and I feel like I don't mind disclosing, but being somebody who is diagnosed and is medicated for their depression and their anxiety, that's a really, really massive thing for me. And it takes me a while to learn to trust people. It takes me a while to feel comfortable with people, to disclose things. When I share my secrets, my body will physically shake. Like my hands will shake, my voice will shake, I will physically shake. And also the anxiety of just going over it and over and over in my head. I've put 15,000 examples in my mind, or scenarios rather, of like how you would react, or what would you say, what would your body language be, who you would tell, what they would be doing with that information, that you would laugh at me. Like in my mind, I've already gone through all of these things because that's the overthinking of anxiety. And also I felt like that's one of those things that I wanted to disclose to you once we had established our trust. But I also didn't want to wait like years into our relationship.
Until it became a problem.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to wait too long. I didn't want to wait until it became a problem. But I just wanted to kind of say, hey, here's this thing. It's me. Yeah. I'm working on it.
You were very upfront about that. I don't think that was very long into our relationship either. Or exclusivity, I want to say, that you like came out with that.
I think it's important for your partner to know, and also, we have had challenges in our relationship because of, some of the things that I deal with, and how, and dating somebody with depression, can be a different type of challenge in a relationship. And I'm not saying challenge is like a bad thing. I'm just saying there are ways to approach that kind of a situation. Yeah. And I felt like you did it all of the right ways, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for real.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know, mental note.
Yeah. So dating somebody who has depression and anxiety, and they battle with it every day. So you should share your secrets with your partner or the person you're talking to when you feel the mutual trust and comfort, when you feel like there's been an exchange of information between the two of you, and like they also reciprocate, because like I don't dig that. I don't want you to feel like my therapist, and I also don't want to feel like I'm talking to a therapist.
Yeah, because I'm not one.
Right. So definitely disclose your secrets when you're ready and on your own time. You don't owe anybody any explanation. You know what I mean? I think there are things that you can do to be courteous. You can disclose things to be courteous and polite to your partner. Like we were talking about, like with my mental health issues, I wanted to disclose that to him before it became a problem, because with my depression, sometimes I fall into a black hole where I go ghost and I don't want to talk to anybody. I won't talk to my family. Like you won't see me on social media, none of that. So, I wanted to disclose that before, because he was somebody I was interested in. So I didn't want you to think that I wasn't interested. It's like, I'm just going through something right now. But anyway, so disclose when you're comfortable, but know that you don't owe anybody any explanation. Take your time, really establish that trust. And that doesn't mean 2 weeks of y'all just talking. It means like give the information, receive the information, give people time to digest it. Maybe don't come at them all at once, because you never know what someone is dealing with that day and that time, and you want to be respectful of their mental space and their ability to handle the information that you're going to give. And you also want to be sure that like you can deliver the information when you're best ready.
Exactly.
So
yeah, those are all great points, baby. And I agree with all of them, because that's really the process that we went through. So, and it worked for us. So
All right.
Yeah.
Holla. Well, we thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, if you got any questions, you can email us at our email below. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. We would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts too. Like, when do you start to unpeel and unpack the layers? Like Donkey said, he literally like on Shrek. Remember? He was like, ogres are like onions. Like, you have all these layers. Like, when do you kind of peel back the layers and unpack things with people? So let us know in the comments below. We thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all.
Bye, T&A Family.